How would you describe this moment in higher education?
I really think this is an opportunity to lead. At Columbus State, it's in our nature to help our students manage uncertainty. And this is an extension of that in a lot of ways. I mean, there's a lot going on, some headwinds, but there's some real tailwinds too, and some real opportunities that we want to make sure our students are connected with. We are doubling down on communication certainly with our students, but also with our faculty and staff, because they're the ones that are really helping our students manage uncertainty. So we're helping them manage their uncertainty. I think, when we talk about an opportunity to lead, that's an institutional value. We see Columbus State playing that role in the community and navigating through whatever change our region's going through.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about some of the tailwinds, but I'm curious, thinking about the headwinds and some of the challenges that are across the field right now. There are so many different ones that you could pick from, but if you had to narrow it down, what would you say is maybe the biggest challenge facing Columbus State right now?
I think the biggest challenge probably having the capacity to respond to the opportunities that the community needs us to respond to. We've got great people, we just don't have enough of them. The ability to really respond to some of the partnership work that we've got underway to respond to new job opportunities that we're preparing students for is something that's added to busy people. So that's something that we continue to manage and continue to prioritize. It's caused some really good growth and really good change opportunities, but it's something we pay attention to on a daily basis.
You mentioned community, and that's something that is obviously in the name, Columbus State Community College. Mm-hmm. I'm curious, how do you view the college as part of Columbus and Central Ohio? Like, how is it positioned? What is its purpose?
We're the front door to the American dream. And we serve every student, no matter what their background. We are by far the most diverse institution in our region, and that's across every measure, including age. That's something that we're really focusing on, is making sure we're meeting students where they are and help them reach their goals. Another important element of that is working with employers and other partners, because we're really a bridge to the future. This isn't a destination for our students. We're helping them get to where they want to go. And in many cases, that's a good paying job and a successful career. In other cases, it's a debt-free bachelor's degree through partnerships. Being that interpreter, front door, safe haven for students is something that we really embrace. A lot of our students don't start here. They've come here after other circumstances in their lives. So the ability to help them rebuild their confidence and get back on a path to success is something that's a unique role we play.
How do you balance having so many different types of students from different backgrounds, different demographics? A lot of times when folks think of a college campus, they think of traditional 18 to 22-year-olds.
Right.
That is clearly not the case at a school like Columbus State, where you have, high schoolers, sometimes even middle schoolers, like if they want to do CCP. But you have high schoolers all the way up through folks well into their careers and post-family. So What does it look like to balance so many different types of students on your campus?
It's natural for us, and it's something we do every day. And really, it's a reflection of our community. I mean, if you go to any other venue, you're not going to see only 18 to 22-year-olds. So in a lot of ways, we reflect our society. And that's an important experience for our students. And they learn from each other. So when we talk about age diversity, for example, we've got 20-year-olds and 40-year-olds in the same class. And the ability to make that in the same, and that's the way it is in the workplace.
Yeah.
And having that connection is something that really is powerful. And our faculty and our advisors are great at leveraging that in a really positive learning experience.
One thing that we've talked about several times over the years is focus on basic needs.
Mm-hmm.
And that has, in some ways, I think Columbus State has really been a leader in that, and other universities are starting to, kind of pick up the slack. What does it look like for Columbus State to try to help meet students' basic needs? And are there areas that the college could do more in or wants to do more in?
Yeah. Our students lead complicated lives, regardless of their age. All of our students work. Most of them work 30 hours or more. Many of them are parents. So we, as a core principle, try to make help unavoidable. And we learned years ago that the non-academic barriers of food, housing, transportation, and childcare were primary barriers for so many of our students. So we have methodically tried to build an infrastructure of partnerships to eliminate those barriers. You probably walked right past the Mid-Ohio Market at Columbus State, Mom at C-State, which we were the first kind of franchise that the Mid-Ohio Market did that was a step in that direction. We've added through our bond proceeds a child care center here on campus, again, adjacent to this building. But through a new partnership with the YMCA, that's going to provide free drop-in child care for our students, and that's going to be a game changer. I never expected to be in the housing business, but that's something that we're also focused on. On the corner of Long and Cleveland, we've got a partnership with Woda Cooper to build out an affordable housing unit there. That a number of those units will be dedicated for our students, but I think many more of our students will live there. It's called Opportunity Point because Mayor Ginther calls Cleveland Avenue the Opportunity Corridor. So those kinds of opportunities are what we want to make sure students recognize. I mean, the story I tell, and I don't know where you leave from here, but if you go to corner of Cleveland and Long, that's where on the west side is where Opportunity Point will be. Right across Cleveland Avenue from there is where the YMCA will be. And then Ohio Health Hall is just north of there. So you picture a student who has a young daughter, one of our nursing students who lives in Opportunity Point, walks across Cleveland Avenue and takes her daughter to childcare at the YMCA, walks a block north to Ohio Health Hall to take her classes, and then 3 blocks south is Grant Medical Center where she's doing her clinical rotation. So you think about that times 40,000, how transformational that could be. So it's something, again, that's built into what we're doing. We're trying to get better and better at it.
Yeah, I mean, not to be too trite about it, but it really is community.
It is. And again, through partnerships, that's what I love about doing this job in this town. We're all in it together, and these kinds of partnerships start with conversations where we realize we're serving the same people. Let's do it together, and that's come together in a really cool way.
One of the things that we have talked a lot about over the years is career tech in-demand jobs, making Columbus State a place to be, to, go into manufacturing, nursing, all those in-demand careers. And thinking back to earlier in the summer with the changes to some of the college credit plus, manufacturing, getting folks into that earlier, are there, I guess, what are the next in-demand careers or pathways that you see Columbus State playing a role in?
Well, Central Ohio is really lucky to have a very diverse employment opportunity set and across industries. And I'm glad you have followed the waiver with College Credit Plus. That was led by Lauren Jones on our team. And that's really going to give an opportunity for our high school students to really start on a career path. And it's going to open the door to students who weren't eligible for College Credit Plus before to really prepare for jobs at Amgen or Anduril or Honda or Worthington. And those are areas that we really focus on. We spend a lot of time with and listening to employers and co-creating pathways in that regard. So engineering, technology, manufacturing is a really good example with some of the companies I just mentioned. IT isn't going away. So there's a lot of disruption happening there, but cybersecurity has been a high growth area for us, and we are very close to finishing our associate degree in artificial intelligence. That's going to be a big driver. And then healthcare, and a lot of the economic development conversations in the community, that doesn't get talked about enough, but those are careers that can make generational change in the lives of families. And they're in communities, and they're jobs that people really understand. That's why Ohio Health Hall is going to be transformative, because we do a lot in the healthcare space now, but having the opportunity for students to really understand what these jobs are. Nursing is really important, but it isn't just about nursing, and the ability for them to see it live and get their hands on it and interact with people who are doing it for a living is that whole learning on display model that we really focus on.
Yeah. I was just talking to a friend last night. She is currently a Columbus State student, and she's looking forward to getting her nursing degree here.
Awesome.
She's real jazzed about it. We talked about it for a long time over dinner.
That's great. Tell her to look me up.
I
love
will.
it. Yeah.
One thing that I was listening to on WOSU this morning as well was, and it's been a conversation, I think mostly for the four-year universities, but the impact of Senate Bill 1. Mm-hmm. What has the impact looked like here on campus thus far?
We are making sure that all of our faculty and staff understand it. I mean, it's a complex bill. There's a lot in it, there are always public policy changes that we've got to adapt to, and our focus is always on talent development and economic prosperity for our students. So the ability to really keep our eye on that principle as we are working through some of the details is something that our folks have really responded to.
Has it been mostly a conversation with, administration, faculty, staff, or has it been something that students have been bringing up and have questions about and concerns?
It's been much more at the faculty and staff level.
What would you say is a misconception that people have about community colleges?
Well, I think it's something that you touched on. The view of a college student for a lot of people is the 18 to 22-year-old that's living on campus and going to college full time. That's about 25% of all of the college students in America. The rest of them are ours. And more and more people really do understand that. And as more and more companies are leaning into skills-based hiring and those kinds of things, the path that that we have, that we provide to a great job and a successful career is something that more and more people are understanding. Student debt is a huge issue. I am a firm believer that debt is a choice. And through our low tuition rates and the partnerships we have in place now, like Buckeye Bridge, Tuition Match, and others at Ohio Wesleyan, there are clear pathways to earn a bachelor's degree debt-free in our community. So I think our enrollment continues to grow. I think people are understanding the value that an experience at Columbus State can provide.
Yeah. So we've talked about a lot of good things, talked about some of the challenges. If you had a magic wand and could fix one thing in higher ed right now, whether it be here on your campus or across the landscape, what would you fix?
The biggest challenge we have, I think, in our region is demographics. And the fact that for the next 15 years, it's the projection, I think, there are going to be fewer and fewer high school graduates. So making sure that everybody understands that college is for everybody at any point in their lives. And especially in this moment, the continuous learning element is really important. For people who think maybe they missed a window or I should have done it back then, that door is always open. And for us to continue to thrive as a region, we've got to help people understand that. I really think we're making good progress in that regard, but we've got great growth opportunities from an economic development standpoint in our region. We've got to make sure that we have equitable access to those jobs. And that means reaching into communities who who may not have role models who are college educated, and really helping them understand that these jobs at Honda or at Ohio Health or at Amgen are for them. And I think we've got some real opportunities to again change the trajectory of people's lives in that regard.
Yeah. Well, those were the hard questions. Now
Okay.
it's some lightning round.
Can I answer a question you didn't ask?
Sure.
Because one of the foundational principles for us is around partnerships. And I think another important answer to a number of your questions is the way things are lining up with key partners. So we've talked about Buckeye Bridge.
Yeah.
And that is going to be transformational, I believe, for our graduates to get a full ride to OSU to finish their bachelor's degree is unprecedented nationally. That was inspired by Columbus Promise. And the way the community, the city, and private investors came together to start Columbus Promise with Columbus City Schools. We're hoping to expand it broader. That gives students a real line of sight for the jobs that we were just talking about, or a path to a bachelor's degree at Ohio State. That didn't exist that long ago. So the ability to really bake that in, so that I love the way Angela Chapman talks about it, so sixth graders know that this is there for them.
Yeah.
That's the opportunity we have as a community.
And I was out of the country when that announcement happened. Do we have like a rough estimate of how many students this could potentially affect?
We can get you that information. Yeah, we actually had our kind of our charge meeting on Monday with Ravi Bellamkonda, the provost at OSU, and his team and our team. And a big part of that work is going to be around data sharing. This is going to be a big deal.
It's going to be cool to see.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, some people have said that these like quick hit questions are harder than the like higher ed questions, so we'll see. But what's on your reading list right now?
Chop wood, carry water. I think Joshua Metcalf is the author. So that's the book that Ryan Day had his team read this summer, and my son, youngest son, lives in Denver, so he and I are reading it together, and I'm texting him every night my kind of a chapter a night. Here's my takeaway. He doesn't respond to me every night, but
At least you're
he's
holding up
reading
your end of
it.
the
He's
deal.
reading it. That's right. That's right.
Where do you like to get a cup of coffee around campus?
Blend. So Mitchell Hall has a student-run coffee shop, and I spend a lot of time there.
It is, I'm off the record, like it is my favorite place at
Awesome.
Columbus
I
State.
love
I judge all campus coffee shops that I go to, and I love going to Blend.
I love it.
Because the food is also extremely good.
I love it. Put that in the article.
What's on like top Spotify artist or Apple Music?
So this is not going to be an easy question.
This is the hard one.
Yeah, yeah. We've got a son in Denver, a daughter in Atlanta, and a son in Pittsburgh, and one of our connection points is we routinely go to concerts with them in their cities. So we were in Denver to see Brandy Carlisle. We were in Atlanta to see Jason Isbell, and next weekend we're going to be in Pittsburgh to see Billy Strings.
Nice.
And then with the Springsteen movie coming out, Nebraska's kind of gotten back up to the top of the list. So it's kind of a mixed list.
No, I like it. I like an eclectic
Yeah.
playlist. Do you have like a favorite event on campus or like campus tradition?
I love commencement. I mean, it's part of my speech. Commencement's my favorite day. I mean, it's one of the blessings, one of the many blessings of this job, because twice a year you get to see your purpose in action, and our commencement is it's more a party than a ceremony. You've been to one of our
Oh
commencements?
yeah, I went to the first one right after, or I guess reopening after the pandemic.
Okay,
so.
yeah, and to see and feel the emotion of the families it's a gift.
It's a very cool
Yeah.
commencement ceremony. Last question. Finish this sentence. If you visit our campus, you can't miss blank.
The energy of our students,